Hey guys, Jason here from Rank and Rent for Babies, and today we're going to talk about the 80-20 of on-page SEO. We're going to talk about what I do in my SOP to propel my rankings even before the backlinks and citations begin. Today the subject is very focused. We're referring today to whatever single page your GMB is attached to. This will not get into the overall structure of the website. We'll do that in another video. First topic, why use an inner page? First thing you need to know is that from this day forward, you're no longer going to use your main domain. Too many people are using seattlesloughroofingcompany.com as their main page. Let's clear something up. From now on, that is your About Us page and a destination for brand links. Why will you never use the root domain again as your homepage? It's all because of a little trick called review schema markup. You see, Google allows you to propagate reviews onto a page and then show them in the SERPs. But too many people were manipulating review markup in an attempt to get more click-through rate with reviews and emojis. So Google put an end to that. But they do still allow reviews on inner pages, and we are going to use that to our advantage. Let me skip ahead to show you the end result. Do a Google search for roofing company, Seattle, Washington. Okay, skip the ads, skip the map pack, and take a look at organic. So if I was to scan the organic search results, what do you notice? I mean, come on, this guy is crushing it. He's got a 4.8 star rating, 681 reviews, and he's got these bright orange stars there that just grab your attention. I am not looking at or thinking about Yelp or Angie's List. I have caught shiny object syndrome, and that is where my click is going to go. This guy, despite being in place number 5, would have been the guy to earn my click. So outside of a video, landing on page 1, this is one of the easiest ways to get people's attention and to get them on your website. So don't underestimate the power of organic. Some people go to ads, some people go to maps, and some people go to organic. It's estimated that almost 40% of people go to organic, even though that's not where 40% of your leads will come in. We want that traffic, and this is how we get it. People often scan the results page, and this is a way to grab their attention. So from now on, when building your websites, pick an inner page you want to use as your main ranking page for your GMB. Get some even more keywords in that second half of the URL. For instance, seattlesloughroofingcompany.com/roofing contractor, Seattle, Washington. Not only are we sneaking our keywords in the precious URL, but they are keywords that clearly relate and are easy to read for the customers, and it shows that they have found the page they're looking for. Your click-through rate will go through the roof with this trick, and anytime your click-through rate is higher than what its position average says it's supposed to be, RankBrain may be free to decide that this is a big brand, and although your links and on-page point that you should rank like 7 or 8, having a higher than expected click-through rate may move you up the SERPs to a higher position. Whether or not it helps your rankings, it will help you get more search traffic and more leads. So how do we do that? How do we propagate reviews on our page? If you're using WordPress, download a plugin called WP Reviews. Then exit the platform, hop on your URL, and get 7 real reviews to this page. Some people have done the reviews themselves, propagating reviews from their GMB, Yelp, and other sources. This is an international community. You need to look into the laws of your state and country, depending on where you live, to see what's allowed by law. My recommendation is to slowly climb up to 7 reviews, as did Kyle Roof when he won the on-page contest that made him famous, ranking a page almost completely in Latin with 7 reviews as the entry point to grab attention. There's just something about that odd number that grabs people's attention and brings them onto your website. Time on page. We already talked about this briefly in our section about landing pages that convert, but start each page with a video whenever possible. People are not going to read paragraphs and paragraphs of text anymore. So to get the sale and to warm them up to your company, you need an interview with the owner or whatever salesperson they're going to see at their house for the estimate. That has multiple benefits beyond ranking. Alternatively, and sometimes more easy to obtain, is to have a whiteboard video created, which we now offer as a service. One potential benefit of these 60 to 90-second videos is that they are an on-page trap. Google literally has a timer running, determining how long people stay on page, whether or not they're bouncing off, and directly or indirectly, manipulatable or not, Google is using this data to determine the user experience of your landing page, possibly giving people with a long history of satisfying users an edge in the search results. A video not only services the needs of the modern customers well, since people hate text but love video, but by trapping them on page for 60 seconds before they can even scan your website and fill out your contact form, you may be able to push up the ranking using a video at the top of your page. We have personally noticed correlation with video and good rankings in both organic and GMB listings. Usually the organic ranking pulling up the map rankings, to be clear. Bullet points, call to action in the top part of your page. We talked about this top third of our SEO landing pages in a training video called Landing Pages That Convert. But for SEO, we need to expand these pages, and later today we're going to talk about what happens in that bottom 2/3. Basically, I lead with a video, bullet points of why they should use us, a phone number that's easy to click, and then a contact form. If it was a Google AdWords landing page, I might even stop right there. But for an SEO landing page, we need to continue to build our on page so we can rank this baby in search. Let the top third of your website do the selling for you with those 4 elements we mentioned earlier. Then begin a nice long copy below to get this baby ranked in search. So how do we build our SEO pages, landing pages to rank? Let's start with this. Of all the people that have come to me and said, my page isn't ranking, I need help, there was one problem that was more consistent than any other: word count. On average, my local SEO friends are building landing pages that are about 600 words, some less, some more. You're getting crushed in the SERPs, and you're leaving tons of opportunity on the table by not having longer landing pages. I shoot for 1,500 word count on all my projects. I love tools like Quora and Pop. I support people running their pages through those tools and looking for correlations. But if a tool told me to reduce my word count because everyone else is, I would need to think twice. Get that word count up to 1,500 or more on a consistent basis. Let's check out this graph of word count and rankings. There's been a lot of research that shows that the higher your word count, the better your rankings will be. This is almost universally accepted, but being underutilized in the lead gen world. Okay, so make getting that amount of content a part of your SOP and make it standard on every website. I'm going to show you in just a minute what you should be writing in those 1,500 words, because we don't just want words for word's sake count. But first, what is an LSI and how do I use it to my advantage? Latex semantic indexing is a search engine's use to analyze other words people use surrounding a given topic. They are words and phrases with a high degree of correlation, and Google's algorithm uses them to help determine content quality and relevance to the search term. I got that right off of Google Snippet because I couldn't have said it better myself. To explain what an LSI is and how we can use them, imagine that you yourself were the search engine. That's right, you were responsible for finding a roofing company for a searcher, but it had to be within 10 miles of him, and not a single website in your area has the word roofing company or roofing contractor on it. How would you begin to attempt to find the service for him nearby? Well, I'd start looking for websites that talk about something similar. For instance, if I saw a blog that said this guy got on a ladder, he pulled back asphalt shingles and proceeded to do a repair, boom, that's good enough for me. That got my attention. He's mentioning asphalt shingles. In a pinch, this guy could potentially help my user, right? Well, you and I have a brain to figure that out. How does a computer do that in a split second? By ranking related terms in a way that only a computer can, by using numbers. In the absence of roofing company, Google has a list of LSI that it can refer to that are similar to the term roofing company. Words that are often mentioned on the same page time and time again throughout the internet and are clearly related. It's obvious to you and me already that such correlations as roofing company and roof repair, or moving company, movers, removalists. But to crush the rankings, you're going to need to know how to really game the system. With this list of LSI keywords, Google has a percentage correlation score. In other words, if I'm looking for a roofing company and asphalt shingles is an LSI of that keyword, Google puts a number on asphalt shingles to determine how strong the correlation is. For instance, asphalt shingles may be a strong correlation, so it may score 75% match for the term roofing company. So for every 4 times that I say the word asphalt shingles, it's the same as adding roofing company 3 more times without the possibility of that keyword stuffing brings. This means if we have asphalt shingles and other types of roofing products, we can generate relevance and authority to the roofing industry right on our main page without putting the word roofing company 15 times on our website. But there are other ways to generate authority and relevance for our search terms. So besides the types of roofing related products like metal roofing, chimney flashing, or waterproof membranes, name the brands that manufacture those products. GAF and Certainteed have their own LSI score in Google's eyes, perhaps scoring 60%, meaning for every 3 times that I mention a brand name, it's almost as strong as stuffing roofing company on my page 2 more times, but without the risk of penalty. I'm not suggesting with this information to go 1995 keyword stuffing style, but it's very reasonable to see an HVAC website with a list of various brands like Carrier, Trane, Goodman, and no doubt these brands are heavily associated with HVAC contractors. So much so, just that by seeing the brands on the page, Google can put together what the page is about and assumes that you are an HVAC contractor, even if those 2 words are not on your website. Using LSI is a great way to move the needle and push relevance and authority to your page. What are some other types of LSI? Brand names associated with the trade. We mentioned earlier how natural it would be to have an HVAC company with the names of various air conditioner units. Besides brand names, there's other ways to sneak in trade-related terms so we can provide informative content and also get our rank on. Consider the tools of the trade. What landscaping company doesn't mention the terms lawnmower or hedge trimmers? Types of products. Any roofing company worth its salt mentions asphalt shingles, membranes, and metal roofing. Work technique or tips. You can even give tips on how somebody can do the repair themselves. And when Google sees these methods along with your page, then that passes even more relevance and might be useful to somebody. Part names. If you read a blog about timing chains, alternators, radiators, engine rebuilds, what trade would you think of? Do I even have to say auto mechanic? You could rank for an auto mechanic in a small term without ever saying the words auto mechanic. Those keywords, along with the other categories of LSI for local trades like we mentioned above, push relevance and authority to your website, all before you ever have a backlink coming in. So did you know that an area can have an LSI also? I remember the first time I realized an area can have an LSI. It seems so obvious now. A website was ranking for an area term and it didn't even mention that area on its website, did not have a backlink coming in for that term. I was like, what the heck? Why was he ranking, and how can we pass relevance, not just for our trade, but also for our area? Here are a few ways to pass more area relevance to your website and rank for any area term that you set your heart on. Area LSI, inclusive, nearby, mentioned often in the same page. If you're trying to rank for a county term, for instance, be sure to make a bullet point list of all the towns inside that county. Many websites around the world, when mentioning that county, also mention the towns inside it. That means there's an associated similarity to Google, raw data-wise, between the county and those towns inside, especially the larger, more notable areas. Listing the towns inside will push your relevance for that county term and help you to rank faster and easier. If you're trying to rank for a large city like Seattle, you could list the smaller neighborhoods inside, other towns nearby Seattle that you also service besides Seattle, pushing tons of relevance to Seattle without having to say Seattle, Seattle, Seattle. In contrast, if you're trying to rank for a small town, list the other towns nearby. Nearby towns that are often mentioned on the same websites push relevance for each other. Sometimes areas come with an area term we want to rank for, like Twin Cities. Or what Chicago clothing store wouldn't refer to their area as the Windy City? In fact, my auto check capitalized Windy City as its own area term. The correlation is there. You and I recognize it. Google recognizes it. You don't need to say Chicago 45 times anymore. In fact, you can't these days. To pass more relevance about your area, you have to follow these new rules. Other tips to find LSI. Look at your top 5 competitors' websites and find terms that you can steal and outdo them on. Does a pest control company mention brands of poison they're using? List your poisons, maybe a bad example, or their methods of inspections. Do the same on yours, but do it better. A how-to guide, a job description. Competitors' brands. What pest control website would be complete without references to the big guys and why they should use you instead? Orkin, Terminex, they make me think of pest control. RankBrain also now thinks of pest control because of the algorithm that we just revealed. Mention your competitors' big brands, just find the way to reference it legally. Google search suggestions. Do a couple of different searches for trades or your area. See what suggestions occur down at the bottom of the page or in the search bar. Other people also searched for. It's a great way to think about, to talk about something related to your industry or ways to find content about your area. Okay, don't ever forget the user. You can ignore every bit of my advice if it's going to cost you in user experience. The page needs to be interesting to read. Make them want to read the entire page by structuring your headings in such a way that in 7 seconds or less, they can skim the page, see the headers, and know it's interesting, informative, and related to their search. This is of utmost importance. Okay, the technical stuff. I've saved the technical stuff for last because a lot of experienced guys already know what to do with their SEO page title, descriptions, H1s, and so on. But in case you need to check yourself, here goes. The portal. The SERPs are your portal from a searcher to your website. This includes the page title, the page description, and from now on, those review stars. The page title has a huge correlation with ranking. Get your keywords in there early, like roofing company, Seattle, Washington, Seattle Slough Roofing. Boom, you knew that. But maybe you didn't know. The description doesn't mean squat for ranking purposes as it relates to the keywords. This was controversial information a few years ago, but it's generally now accepted that jamming your keywords in the page description is useless. Instead, use this as an invitation to your searcher to click on your page and increase your traffic and click-through rate, and possibly, therefore, your rankings indirectly. What I like to do is start off with numbers because no one else is. In a world full of words in the SERPs, those bright orange stars and a set of numbers starting off the conversation just really stand out. Try even a risk reversal and a strong call to action, such as 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get your free roofing repair quote today. Risk reversal, an invitation to a free quote, and one or two carefully chosen capitalized words are great ways to increase your click-through rate, and we've seen traffic nearly double when a business owner description was erased and replaced by an experienced internet marketer. Give the people a good invitation to click, and they will. This higher click-through rate may signal that to Google that people are clicking on you because they recognize your brand and they trust you. So Google may start showing your brand higher in search results. It doesn't matter why you got the high click-through rate. What matters is that you have it, and it will help you get the leads and possibly to rank better over time. Okay, some technicals of On Page. H1s, my H1s often look similar to my page title. I want my keywords in there, the area term for sure, with possibly a different phrased version of my main keyword. It's the first thing people see when they enter your page, so it has to be readable also. Instead of roofing contractor, Seattle, Washington, which I admit is great for SEO, consider instead the #1 rated roofing contractor in Seattle, Washington. Or simply, if your brand is keyword rich, a Seattle Slough Roofing Company. Many SEO guys have their own way of doing this, and I don't want to reinvent the wheel here. But in case you needed a little guidance, there it is. H2s, I usually have at least 3. H2s are a great place to put related keywords that are extremely closely related to your main keyword, or even related auxiliary area terms. Roof repair, King County comes to mind. That's the county that Seattle's located in. We want to get our LSI there in our H2s, and King County is a strong LSI of Seattle since Seattle's located in King County. Just watch the keyword cannibalization if you plan on having a unique page to rank for King County, and don't go too heavy. With each bullet point needs to build on the next, providing information the customer needs to pull them in. All right, H3 to H6, keeping your total main keyword count to about 1.5% at most. Continue to sprinkle your main keyword and LSIs throughout your headers and the rest of the 1,500 text. Again, a final scan of your website should invite a user to read the entire page, starting with the video. Don't forget user experience because you've been doing SEO for so long and you're used to a keyword first philosophy. I've been there too, but we need to get the customer's attention also, not just Google. So have a little balance for the reader. Overall site structure, this will be the next video in our series, how to build out your entire website for ranking success with as few backlinks as possible, external backlinks, and for a more repeatable process that can even be subbed out and assigned through your assignment boards to your employees or your content subcontractors. We're going to show you our module method that we've been using, which makes it super easy to scale and add modules of ranking power month after month internally and push juice through internal linking to the pages you're trying to rank. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon with the next On Page video.